And we're live.
Yay.
Right. Good. Nice.
Yeah. Woo.
Ooh.
Exciting.
How's your guys' week been?
I'm so tired.
Yeah, what are you up to?
I've slept like shit for the past week.
Oh no.
That's
The reason why,
Oh
or
man.
just
Just
old?
a couple things. Getting just old. I had to get a video ready for today's deadline because I put up an April Fool's Day video. And
I saw that. It was a special video, right?
yeah, it was a Superman 64 episode, which is like this long recurring thing with me. So
Yeah, I know.
put it out. Yeah, I put it out today and then didn't just played it straight. Like it's just a regular video, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, you asshole!" So it's been well received.
Good.
But I'm getting it ready, and between that and Bagel waking us up at like 7 a.m., I've slept like shit for the past week, so I'm just absolutely exhausted.
Gross.
Yeah, so if I've seemed lower energy than usual, I apologize, but it is the case.
Cool.
It gets lower?
Okay. Yeah, well, I don't know if I can get much lower.
What's up with you, Paul?
I had the worst fucking day today. I cracked a tooth right as I was about to go into work.
Oh.
So I spent all day with a broken tooth.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
I bit into a fucking breakfast sandwich because I was like, all right, I have 5 minutes, gonna sit here, eat, go into work, everything's gonna be fine. And
Been there.
Cracked down, felt something weird, put my hand in my tooth, felt it wiggling, and then pulled out the chunk of it that broke off.
Oh man, how big a chunk we talking?
When you're talking about teeth, it's never as much as it feels like. It felt huge. It's probably the end of a pencil, like a broken lead or something.
Ooh.
So
the point of the pencil. Okay,
still pretty big for a tooth.
Yeah, no, any of it would suck. What was in the breakfast sandwich?
Nothing. Nothing special anyway. Egg, cheese, and bacon.
There wasn't like a gold coin that said "you win."
Nope, nothing like that.
You win a trip to the dentist. Hooray!
Yeah, or maybe another tooth, someone else's tooth.
So outside of work, I called them.
Shrimp
I was
tails.
I just cracked my tooth. I know it sounds like a lie or something, but I need to get this looked at. And they're like, okay, just let us know what's going on. Called around. The earliest thing I could get was at 6:30 at night. I was just like, I'll be here at work all day anyway, so fuck it. I guess I'm just gonna work the normal day and we'll deal with this.
So that would have been today. So when are you gonna actually go to your appointment?
Monday, because that was the only appointment,
wow.
and I couldn't just my shift was basically done at 6:30 anyway. So
yeah, exactly.
What? Yeah.
I mean, so I had the back pain, and I finally was like, maybe I'll just go get it looked at.
Yeah.
They gave me an appointment 3 weeks out. And I literally said to the person, okay, I mean, I guess I'll take it, but it'll probably be healed by then. So I don't know. Sure. And yeah, when I went there, I was like, it's pretty hard for me to actually feel the pain at this point.
Yeah.
But if you have some stretches, if it comes back, I guess, I was just saying, I don't know why I'm here. Why did I wait 3 weeks for an appointment?
Yep.
Ridiculous.
The one good thing is that there is no immediate pain, and I'm sure it would probably be sent. I was able to drink coffee and kind of take it slow.
You chew on that side?
I haven't tried, and I'm not going to.
Yeah. Don't blame you.
Yeah. So things are okay so far. If they get worse, I'm just gonna try to find a emergency hospital clinic or something. But as of right now, we're okay. I can drink water. I can eat on the other side. There's no pain. But yeah, I fucking freaked out, and I was miserable.
I don't blame you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Everyone's wondering is, what did you do with that chunk of your tooth?
Just threw it out. I don't know. I'm sure a bird probably ate it or something.
Probably not.
So you killed a bird today is what you're saying.
Yeah, that's the takeaway from the story for sure.
Or he just made some bird's nest way more powerful.
Yeah, it's true. Human teeth don't come lightly.
Yeah, I realized last week we did not talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Sure. Okay.
Which we should, considering we did like every episode of WandaVision and then we forget to do the next one. What are you thinking?
I'm less okay. Actually, the big thing last week specifically, or 2 weeks ago, and then last week, it's really fun watching an action TV show with Disney's budget because
it looks so good. Yeah,
the first scene was easily like they blew in the first 10 minutes of the first episode what most TV shows would get for like 3 seasons easily. Like, it's crazy.
It looks it looked so cool, and the fight scene was awesome with Falcon like jump kicking through the helicopters and stuff.
Cool.
Looks great.
Yeah. I still kind of don't care about that series very much, but it's fun. Like, I don't hate it or anything. I'm just not chomping at the bit to see more of it. It is making me like Bucky a little bit more, even though he's still kind of just like a shitty sleazebag, because that's kind of who he is. He's a fish out of water. And, yeah, like a shitty Captain America.
I like their dynamic.
Yeah,
I do like their dynamic, and I even like new Captain America kind of
John
up against
Walker.
them. I think, I forget what his comic book name is. Something agent,
secret agent,
U.S.
something.
agent. It's U.S. agent.
That's
his comic
U.S.
book
agent.
name. I kind of liked them all together. That was kind of fun. The scene where they have to like. They're in the second episode where they have to do like the therapy session in the jail cell. That made no sense why they were like agreeing to do that, but it was funny. They just needed to come up with some way to get those guys to sit awkwardly close together. So yeah, I'm liking them. I really liked the reveal of I'm trying not to get spoilery. Bucky reveals to Falcon like an old man.
Yeah.
And that guy has a really cool comic history.
Yeah.
So that was kind of fun to see that. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what's going to come from the show.
I mean, I'm excited for tomorrow's episode because we're getting another kind of important villain that they're going to go meet up with. So that'll be fun. Try not to get spoilery. So yeah.
I also wanted to bring up Godzilla versus Kong because that came out on HBO Max yesterday, and I watched that. Weird Wednesday release. Okay, sure. I feel pretty similarly about that movie as I do the Godzilla King of the Monsters that happened a couple years ago, in which case all the monsters fighting looks real cool. Every time there's like a human doing something, I could not care less. And now in this new one, they're just like bad comic relief.
Yeah.
They're so annoying. They're so annoying. There's some cool fight scenes, some cool callbacks if you're a big fan of that series.
I literally just want Godzilla and King Kong fighting each other. I don't care about anything else. So
happens for sure. There's definitely some cool moments. I still think Kong Skull Island is like the best one in that series.
Okay.
So I'm definitely Team Kong. I won't I won't say what happens in the newest movie, but I mean, got to watch it for free. So that's great.
Yeah.
And in like 2 weeks, I get to watch Mortal Kombat on HBO.
Yep.
So that'll be fun. It looks great though. That movie looks real good. It sounds real good. I wish I could have seen it in a theater, the big speakers. But luckily I have a surround sound with a big subwoofer, and there were some cool moments to see for sure. So that was a fun time.
Cool.
I did want to bring up one more show.
Yeah.
It came out this last Friday on Amazon Prime.
Invincible. Right. Mm.
Did you watch this?
I haven't yet. No, it's ready to go at some point here.
Yeah, so I've never read Invincible. I'd always heard about it because it was real popular. People always were saying really good things about it. And it's by Robert Kirkman, who did The Walking Dead. And I'm a big fan of that comic book series. So I wanted to check it out. And it is so good. It is so enjoyable. I will say I'm not a huge fan of the art style.
Okay.
I think it looks almost a little too plain. And I don't know if it's because like the black lines on the characters are just real thin. I'm totally putting the messages to like personal preference.
Sure.
But the storyline and the characters are really good. If you like The Boys,
Yeah.
Amazon Prime, I think you will really like Invincible, because they're kind of playing in the same space a
Right.
little bit. Thematically, the story's pretty different, but just, thematically and tonally a little bit. The voice cast is also off the charts. Like, the main character, Invincible, is Steven Yeun. I really like that actor. J.K. Simmons is in it. Sandra Oh is in it. The list goes on and on. Almost every character is like, oh, I know that person. Blah blah blah. Like, it's a really great voice cast. I'm really enjoying the show. I cannot wait to watch episode 4 tomorrow. I almost want to watch that one more than I want to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier.
I could see that. Sure. Yeah.
So I can't recommend that enough. That's Invincible. It's on Amazon Prime. Definitely watch through the whole first episode before you make your decision, because there's a big twist at the end. It's a good thing that at the end of every episode there's like a twist or like a real big cliffhanger question where you're like, where is this going? I need to know. But yeah, that's pretty fun.
Cool. Can't wait to watch it.
So there's your TV and movie catch up.
Yeah.
And need to do the regular show now, which is the Top Down Perspective for April 1st. Happy April Fool's Day.
Woo.
Yay.
Yeah, does anyone like April Fool's Day?
Nope.
Sometimes.
No. I'm Sean Booker.
I'm Paul Fleck.
John Wheeler.
I didn't look at what you guys put on your lists. Paul.
Absolutely nothing.
All right. Well, we got John out of the way. Paul, what have you been playing?
I've been playing a shitload of Monster Hunter Rise. New Monster Hunter. It's going to take forever to get through fully. Anyway, it's pretty short feeling as it is, like the single player stuff. I've just been spending a whole bunch of time in the hub helping out other people and jumping in on games and doing whatever. But yeah, it's another Monster Hunter. It's definitely not as friendly to newbies, I think, as Monster Hunter World was. It's definitely more of a step backwards in a lot of ways. It's probably just due to the fact that it's on the Switch and they went mobile again, so it's going to be a little older feeling. But the big thing is that it still has the like movement stuff that World introduced, and it introduces more movement stuff with an item called the wire bug.
Dog, right?
And the dog, yeah. So you can ride the dog and do things that normally you couldn't do moving. So like sharpening your weapon or like whatever in between fights while like you're running to the next fight or whatever, or like mining, harvesting, whatever you can like do on the dog as well. It's cool. And because of the Rise thing, and like there's a lot of verticality in these levels, so you're doing a lot of like actually running on walls to get up to places, or like jumping into the sky to like crash down on monsters and do like big combos and stuff like that. It's very, very cool. It's definitely for people who are in to Monster Hunter and not like new people really though. So it's not going to change anybody's mind, but I think most people that are into Monster Hunter are having a good time with it. So yeah, it's been cool.
Got two questions for you. First, is this the best Monster Hunter? And if not, where does it rank?
World is really good. That's one of the best Monster Hunter games they'll probably maybe ever make, just because it broke the barrier for a lot of people, and it kind of like modernized a lot of like really old shitty Monster Hunter things. This, I mean,
they're probably gonna make a World 2, because World isn't that like their most, like Capcom's most profitable game ever?
Probably. At least in that series.
I remember hearing that thing sold.
Pretty sure it is, yeah.
Crazy numbers.
Yeah, I'm sure. There are a couple problems with this that I'm overlooking. Because it's on the Switch hardware, it's not as good as it could look just straight out of the gate.
Okay, so while you're touching on that was my second question.
Yeah.
How does it run on the Switch? Because I feel like every game nowadays that I play on the Switch, I'm like bummed it's on the Switch.
Yeah, this game is coming out first of all to PCs next year. I'm probably gonna double dip on this one like I did with the other one. It runs at 30 frames per second with dips every now and then, but not too bad. Pretty steady 30 frames per second, and it's not as good looking as it could be. It looks like a mobile Monster Hunter, maybe upscaled and put on the Switch. It's fine looking. Like, I think it looks okay. It could look better, for sure. Just straight out. It could run better, and it probably will when it's on other stuff. But I'm having a lot of fun with it still. Just the way it moves, like, every hunt just feels fast now. Like, you're just always moving, and you're moving quickly. You're doing, like, big jumps in. I play a lot of melee stuff, so a big problem with the weapons I play are when they're unsheathed, you're usually walking very slow or barely at all, because, like, you're supposed to be kind of planted and you're swinging this giant weapon around. So the movement stuff that they added for the stuff I play lets me, like, really jump into monsters that are more mobile and, like, move away and back away and stuff. I can keep on them the whole time, and it feels, like, really good for me. I do wonder how it is from the perspective of somebody who plays, like, bow guns or bow or whatever, like range type stuff, if they're finding it more annoying because, I don't know, they're like, it feels like every monster is a little bit harder, and it feels like some of them have new moves, and that's cool, and I'm into it, but, like, I wonder how other people feel about it that play other weapons. Just
sure.
But for me, I'm loving it. It has some of my favorite monsters that have not been in World back to this one, so that's really cool. It does feel a little more bare than some of the other games, but that's the way it goes because they'll update it accordingly with, like, patches and stuff that you can, like, downloadable content to add more monsters and more hunts and events. So, but for right now, I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's just taking up basically all of my free time, except for now a whole bunch of other stuff came out. So we'll see. we'll see where it ranks now that other games have come out. But definitely, if you're into Monster Hunter and have a Switch, you should maybe look into it.
And now, where does it rank against Monster Rancher for the PS1?
Well, Monster Rancher, I could put in my corn disc and get that eyeball creature. so
it's Monster
lower.
Rancher, and then right underneath it is Monster Hunter Rise for the Switch.
Exactly, that's right.
Okay, John, would you agree with that?
I would probably play Monster Rancher more than Monster Hunter, to be fair. So
yeah.
Okay, so you are also a Monster Rancher first gamer.
Yep.
EMTN.
Let me slap in my Big Willie style disc and see what I get.
Okay, I've asked you to stop talking about your Big Willie on the podcast numerous times.
I can't help it. Look,
I know. It's okay. We've all been there.
It's like being vegan, only for, for wieners.
Willies, excuse me. We're adults here.
Willies, yeah, you're right. My bad.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I've been playing a bunch of stuff this week. I don't really know what happened.
Oh.
They fell from the sky.
Yeah.
My strategy of convince my roommate to get a physical copy of Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury for the Nintendo Switch succeeded.
Okay.
And as a result, I played through Bowser's Fury.
Yeah. Short.
I haven't gotten all the shines. I've gotten 50.
Sure.
Which is then it forced me to fight Bowser and go to the end game. That game's great. I'm having a lot of fun with it.
It's fun.
Those little islands, like that, each of them have 5 shines. It's like, how did they fit 5 shines on this? And I think that's good and bad. The good part is, like, it's really creative how they hit them, and other part that's like, oh, I need to wait for this island to turn into, like, level 2 island, but I don't even really know how to trigger that unless I just do, like, a lap of the world and hope or something. I come back and it's there. Like, I don't know how that works.
I thought you were gonna say it's really good in that, like, they're hiding these really good, and really bad in that, oh, I have to wait 5 minutes for Bowser to move his stupid fucking ass to break this block.
Well, so that's a different thing. So my first point is, once you, like, beat an island, you'll kind of like level up a little bit to like a harder version to get another one. But you can't just like go back to the start of the island and have it do that. You need to like some distance from you so that it can change.
Right. Okay.
Which is just kind of so, and I don't exactly know what the trigger is. I just kind of
it is just being far away enough that it reloads into data.
Okay, that sucks.
I know.
Yeah.
Like,
I know. I hated that.
That's just odd. They just don't, and the only reason they're doing it is just to hide, so it just seems a little more, streamlined and fluid. But it's like, come on, I'm playing a game that Mario gets larger when he eats a mushroom.
Yep.
You can just have like things come out of the ground, and now there's piranha plants here. Anyway, yes, having to have Bowser and like, oh crap, I got to race back to the other island because there's blocks there. Bowser's up here. That's kind of annoying. But those are real minor things, and I feel like if they could easily expand on this template, and it would be so good.
Yeah,
I feel like they're like 9 out of 10 there. They're like so close, just a little rough around the edges, and I really do hope that, the next Mario or whatever, they do continue with this formula, because I would love to see the second iteration on this.
Okay.
Having a lot of fun with that. So
cool.
I do plan to go back and get the other the other half of those guys. Also, real quick question: what is the difference between the cat bell and the red cat bell, besides getting a red handkerchief on your neck?
You can ground pound in midair, and you turn into a statue that falls and creates coins.
Okay.
It's the Tanuki suit, basically.
Good to know. When did they introduce that?
3D World.
Oh, I totally forgot about that, I guess. Okay. All right. Other than that, I played Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered, because that was the games with old free play weekend game last weekend.
Yeah.
And I'm a huge fan of that original. That game is still super fun.
Yep.
It is super ugly.
Yep. True.
It literally just looks like, okay, this was an old game that they just, boosted up to 4K. The video options are all odd. It has performance, it has graphics, and then it has maximum. It doesn't tell you what any of them do. I can guess the first two. 4K frame rate. Is maximum just the best? Who knows? I picked maximum. It ran fine. I just don't think it looks very good, because that whole game is just like gray and brown.
Yeah.
And specific, and also like, some of the textures don't look great. There's a lot of rain kind of things going on. It just kind of looks like, instead of like actual rain droplets flying up around you, it just kind of looks like blurry smudges. It definitely looks like an old game that they upscaled. And especially coming off of Dirt 5, a game where every single race, they're like, there's going to be a sunset here, and it's going to look fucking gorgeous. And then you play this, where it's like, I don't know, sometimes it gets smudgy. It's the effect we put in here. It just looks, I have a high bar for racing visuals these days. However, the gameplay is still incredibly fun.
Yeah.
Dropping spike strips, EMPing people, and I absolutely love, you're playing the cop and you like bust someone, which means you took all their health down, or you you just crashed this person. Like that car just like tumbled off the side of the road, and the cop will just be, you issued the warrant. And it's like, dude, you just killed that guy. There is no way anything else happened. So that's very funny. Don't care much for the soundtrack. That game is just entirely the gameplay for me. So
totally
still good. And so the next game I played, and this is a weird one. This game is on Game Pass. It's called Genesis Noir. And see if you can kind of figure this out as I go, because there's a lot to unpack here.
Okay.
First off, the art style is incredible. This game is so striking looking. The closest thing I can think of is if you watched the movie Pixar's Soul. They're in the like heaven world, and there's those like contour line drawn like godlike creatures that chat with the dude. Everything kind of looks like that.
Okay.
Like those characters, except everything is black and white with some gray shifts, and then the color like yellow or gold. So the game looks and sounds incredible. It's set to like kind of a jazzy undertones for the soundtrack. but the stories I can think of, they are telling the story of the Big Bang through a noir detective story that involves a jazz singer in her apartment getting shot by a famous saxophonist with a laser gun, and you come in just as the laser is firing and time stops, and as you like view the laser, you are going into these like point and click adventure style levels where you are experiencing the Big Bang, undo this mystery and save the woman.
Makes sense.
It is bizarre. It is such a weird concept. And a lot of the times I'm just kind of going for the ride. I'm just putting my hands in the air and I'm getting on the roller coaster. I do think a lot of this game is kind of more style than substance. It plays like an adventure game, and unfortunately, because it's so kind of obtuse, what you're doing is like one of the puzzles could just be you like poking at squiggly lines because they represent like amoebas forming together to create the first life forms in the universe. You don't exactly know what you're doing, so it's a lot of just like, I guess I'll just poke at this until something happens and the animation plays out. Kind of a lot of that. So it's a bit slow in that way. It's a little frustrating in that way. The whole time you're doing it, man, the game just looks so good. I highly recommend looking up a trailer. Again, it's called Genesis Noir. It's also on Switch. It's on pretty much everything except PlayStation consoles, I believe. I'm playing it on Game Pass, so it's definitely worth a check out. But again, I don't know if I'm exactly enjoying playing it, but I'm really liking what I'm seeing while I'm playing it. So I'm kind of just like muscling my way through. And it's only about 4 hours long. I might even just load up a guide so I can just kind of see all the cool animations and stuff they're doing.
Sure.
So that's neither here nor there. Big game this week, what I want to talk the most about
Okay.
is Hazelight's It Takes Two. And Hazelight is the studio that brought you Brothers. It brought you
Fuck the Oscars.
the Oscars, and it brought you that Prison Break game that was co-op. What's that one called? A Way Out.
A Way Out. Yep, that's right.
What it was called. It Takes Two is incredibly good.
Yeah, I want to play it.
I can't overstate it enough. It is so good.
Who do you play it with?
I just have my usual co-op buddy. I'm playing it on Xbox. In fact, it's actually a little confusing. So I remember A Way Out, when you got it, they basically gave a second copy away for free so that you could play it co-op. And it looks mechanically very similar to A Way Out, in which case the screen will split in half and you can always see what your co-op partner is seeing.
Yeah.
And I remember saying with A Way Out that you can matchmake. That seems like the most uncomfortable thing to do with a rando. You can do that here again too, and again, I think that would be uncomfortable.
Yeah.
One downside to this game I think is too mechanically dense.
Yeah.
For you to want to play this with someone who is not a quote unquote gamer.
Yeah, that's the problem. I was hoping you would say it was easy, but fuck.
No.
Okay.
Starts out kind of good, but you, by the end of it, and especially like some of the bosses, you need to be like pretty competent with like 3D platformers. The game's not hard. You can't die. You have unlimited lives, so you could just kind of muscle your way through it. But I feel like if you're not comfortable with 3D platformers, you are going to get frustrated with what this game asks you to do.
Yeah.
I'm not in that boat. I'm playing with my buddy who I play co-op everything with. So
Sure.
We're doing fine. The story is kind of crazy. So you are a couple getting a divorce. You tell your daughter that right away at the beginning of the game.
Mm-hmm.
This causes your daughter to cry onto her dolls.
Yep.
And then the mom and dad's spirits get sucked into those dolls, and it becomes a Honey, I Shrunk the Kids kind of weird fest, as everything is huge now. But not just huge, everything's kind of magical. For example, the second area you go to is the tree in your backyard. It's full of a literal army of squirrels they're doing some kind of like Cuban Missile Crisis against the bees in the area. Have like a torture room.
Yeah,
There's some
of course they
weird
do.
stuff going on. It's this real weird of like, I don't exactly know who this game is the target audience for, because there's some dark and like serious undertones, and at the other time there's like a annoying Spanish book trying to get you and the mom back together, or you and the dad. They're trying to get the couple back together. I'm really curious what the ending of this will be, because I feel like with this kind of story, there's two outcomes, and they're both obvious.
Yeah, one of them is actually kind of like harmful though, as a like if they're like, oh, we can work everything out now because you cried, that's kind of shitty.
Well, so they're definitely doing the thing is, as you go, the couple is like getting nicer to each other and like beginning to compliment each other, but it's like that seems too obvious.
Yeah, that's what I think.
The thing is, the reviews for this game are off the chart.
Sure.
I feel like if there was like a really cheesy ending like that, these reviews wouldn't be that high. So I am so curious how they end this game.
A Way Out had a really good ending that I didn't see coming. So
let me talk about the gameplay of this thing, because like I said, the reason this game is so remarkable right now. It does the Titanfall 2 thing or the Mario thing of, we are going to introduce a really cool mechanic. And in this game, because it's strictly co-op, you cannot play this single player with an AI partner.
Right.
Mechanics they introduce in co-op are so well done and so much fun. In addition, platforming alone is so great. You start with a double jump, you start with a wall jump, an air dash. Like I have said multiple times, I wish I just had a 3D platformer with these controls, because it feels so tight and good.
Yeah.
You can like grind on rails, you're like swinging off hooks and stuff. Like, I honestly wish there was just like the next Mario was they got to make it. Back to the co-op mechanics though. Every chapter, and not just every chapter, every section within the chapter. So every like 15 minutes or so, they completely throw out the mechanic you were just doing, give you a brand new one. It's just as good.
Cool. Okay.
Like they consistently leave you wanting more and more of what they're doing. It's the great Mario, it's the great Titanfall 2 thing of, here's something real cool. We are not going to overstate its welcome. We're not going to like build on it, and that's the game. That was fun. Here's another thing. This one is also awesome. And they've done that at least a dozen times. Over and over, they do the coolest stuff. Like, basically said, Nintendo should give Hazelight the Mario Party franchise. That you would get literally good Mario Party. Be incredible. The game looks fantastic with the HDR. It looks so good. It goes out of its way to make it good. Like, I don't want to tell you what the mechanics are, because it would just spoil it. It is such a good platformer, and all I can say is you got to figure out a way to play this. And like I said, it does have a friend pass. If you buy a copy of the game, you get a friend pass that you can give to someone, and they get access to the full first chapter. I think somehow actually you can have that person unlock the rest of the game for free in some way. Don't quote me on that. I think there is a way to buy it once, get two of them like you did for A Way Out. So that's worth doing some research if this is interesting to you. Again, because I think matchmaking would be the most uncomfortable gaming experience I can even think of.
Well, the way it worked with A Way Out is that if you bought it, you had a friend or whatever download the demo, and then like there was like an unlock or something that when you invited them to a game, they could just play with you.
Right. And you would get the whole copy. Yes, yeah. I do remember that.
So
don't believe this is the same.
Oh.
Don't think it's the same, but I do believe the outcome is the same.
Okay.
Like I said, I didn't exactly look into it because I didn't need to. Game's also 12 hours long. Like, it is sizable, and the fact that I can't wait to play each next section should really tell you something about it.
Sure.
Like, I feel like A Way Out not change the mechanics. It was a shooter for the most part that you played co-op. There was some stealth stuff, but it was kind of the same tonal thing as you go through. Every 15 minutes, this changes something up with something equally I don't want to say genius because that's just hyperbole at this point, but like
Sure.
unique and cool. And there's so much unique mechanics they're putting in there that I'm constantly saying, how has this not been in a? I play co-op games like every week. This is like blowing them out of the water.
Yeah.
And I think it's just really, it's really great that Hazelight has this commitment to making co-op games at this scale because no one else is really doing that.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm really glad we have a developer out there doing that. And fun little Easter egg, the fuck the Oscars speech is in this game. You can find it.
Oh, okay. Cute.
Audibly or visually?
Audibly. But you do hear Jeff Keighley briefly, and then you hear Joseph Fares flipping the Oscars off. They bleep it. But I just think it's funny that it's in there. So anyways, that's It Takes Two. I cannot recommend this game enough.
Cool. I'm excited to try it out.
Let's do some news.
All right.
All right, we got some E3 news today, and it was a bit of a double take. I'll kind of go through it in the order stuff was coming out.
Okay.
VideoGamesChronicle.com reported that E3 2021 will be a digital event.
Okay.
Could be behind a paywall.
Okay.
Didn't they come out later and say like, no, it'll be everyone can access it?
I was going to get to that. I'm kind of going in chronological order, but yes, they did do that.
Okay.
Before they went back on that, the rest of the article mentioned that E3 apparently has now changed what the acronym is for, and it's Electronic Entertainment Experience.
Ooh.
I guess it's not an
Makes
expo anymore.
sense.
The ESA wants to partner with NVIDIA to deliver on-demand streamed game demos. The paid access pass could include extra access to those mentioned demos. Paid access is not set in stone. And this is from the report from Video Games Chronicle. And then a quick quote here. Multiple publishing sources told Video Games Chronicle they expected to provide some content for the digital E3 event as a show of support for the ESA, but that they would ultimately reserve their main reveals for a separate independent digital events like those held last year. To me, that sounds like Ubisoft would be like, yeah, you can talk about our new motocross game that's kind of like Steep 2, but Assassin's Creed is coming to our stage.
Oh, okay.
The ESA did come out and said E3's 2021 digital show is a free event for all attendees. We're excited to fill you in on all the real news for that event very soon. So they knocked down the paywall thing pretty quick. I didn't really see like a bunch of backlash that would have caused them to do a 360 or a 180 on this. I think they just had that information wrong.
Okay. Fair enough.
So more to tell, but it seems like the big announcements will not be at E3, whatever E3's presence is.
Sure.
Let's talk about some No Man's Sky.
Okay.
No Man's Sky got another free update that just seems incredible. This game just keeps going. No Man's Sky Expeditions.
Okay.
Are now Galactic Expeditions missions. New HUD and 4K UI. VisorTech cross-save rewards, Sentinel balance. They have added ongoing seasons now, cross-platform. You can now merge your accounts cross-platform.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Oh, just a lot of cool stuff. Man, if this game had come out as is, everyone would have exploded.
Sure.
It would have been absolutely insane. But I think it's just very cool that they keep adding a shit ton of cool stuff for free. So good for them. We got a couple Call of Duty stories here.
Okay.
Mentioned before that Call of Duty, the file size is way too big.
Yep.
Activision has announced that it's going to shrink the Call of Duty file sizes so that you can download other games.
Should have probably just done that, bro. But okay.
Specifically, it's going up. At most, you're going to be able to save about 33 gigs of space. I'm trying to read how this chart goes. So on PlayStation 4 and 5, you have Warzone only. It's going to get shrunk down to 10 gigs. I wish they were telling me the before and afters of this. Why is this article not doing that? and that Warzone and Modern Warfare together will only be 30 gigs. We're all pretty much around that. Low teens to low 30s if you have them both versus the one.
Okay.
I can't believe this article's not giving me the comparison. But anyways, I'm just glad to hear that they are optimizing these and making them smaller, because that is one of the weirdest jokes going on right now. The more COD news, this is the more interesting one. And Paul, I'm curious your take on it.
Okay.
Call of Duty 2021 reportedly called Vanguard, set in World War II. It is being developed by Sledgehammer Games.
Okay. I didn't play a lot of Call of Duty World War II's campaign. I hated that multiplayer, but I really liked Cold War's campaign. So it could be okay.
So Sledgehammer is the one that did Call of Duty World War II.
Yeah.
And the working title right now is Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. However, there's also sources saying that they might just stick with the Vanguard part, so it might just be Call of Duty Vanguard.
Okay.
Whatever that's worth.
Sure.
But it sounds like you're not in on what Sledgehammer's doing when they're the lead developer.
I mean, I didn't play. Apparently, that single player was like the thing. I just don't. I'm kind of sick of World War II games. Like, I've seen it.
It's kind of interesting that they're going back to it again.
Yeah. Interesting is the good word. Sure. Hopefully they find something to tell, some story to tell or something in there. Because that's kind of what I care about with Call of Duty. I don't care about the multiplayer thing as much. And like, they probably shouldn't either, because multiplayer's been cracked. Warzone is the thing that people want out of Call of Duty. So that's just a thing people can download.
Yes, I'm curious how they're going to handle implementing some of this new World War II stuff into Warzone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because now the time period's way off.
Yeah, because they had like bunkers and numbers for Cold War when that was coming out as like a cross thing. I don't know what the fuck you could do with Vanguard. Dog tags or something. I don't know. Who knows? So
this news comes from a website called Modern Warzone. I guess covers Call of Duty news. Eurogamer then went on to corroborate some of the elements from the report. And they said, Activision plans to stick with the Vanguard subtitle for the final version, but disagrees with Modern Warzone's claim that the game will take place in an alternate timeline where 1945 wasn't the end of World War II. Instead, they believe Vanguard has a traditional World War II setting. So it seems like there's a bit of rumor going back and forth about whether it's World War II or it's an alternate universe.
So they disagree that it'll be interesting, and they agree we're going back to the well to see if it's dry.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. We'll see. Maybe it'll be amazing.
Who knows?
Yep.
All right, we talked about this briefly last week, that Sony might be closing down some of its older PSN stores. We then talked that it was possibly debunked. We don't know.
And,
Sony came out and confirmed it. The dates lined up correctly.
What a bummer.
Yeah, that sucks.
It is quite a bummer. Specific features players will no longer be able to access after July 2nd and August 27th are listed here. Will no longer be able to purchase PS3, Vita, and PSP digital content, including games and video content. Will no longer be able to make in-game purchases through games on the PS3, Vita, and PSP. You will no longer be able to redeem PSN Wallet Fund vouchers, such as gift cards, on the PS3, Vita, or PSP devices once the PlayStation Store and purchase functionalities for these devices closes. Your PSN wallet funds will remain in your PSN account, but you will only be able to use your funds to purchase PS4 and PS5 products on the PlayStation Store on the web, PlayStation app, or PS4 and PS5. So if you have some games you need to pick up, but now spend that money. Another game I remembered that you definitely got to get for a Vita, Frobisher Says. The game is incredible.
Oh, right.
Frobisher Says. Look up the trailer for that if you at least want to feel good and happy. It's great.
Cool.
Among Us is getting the airship. It has arrived
Today, right?
It is also coming.
Or
Yeah.
was it?
April Fool's
Today?
Day, yeah.
I think it was actually yesterday.
It was like at midnight last night, something like that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the airship is here. It's the biggest update they've done since the game got huge last year. It is also adding 15-player lobbies, new tasks to perform, and they've even said they are going to update the visuals in the future.
Okay. Cool.
Big Among Us updates coming. Speaking of updates, Cyberpunk got its 1.2 patch.
Yeah, I went through this note. I might actually reinstall this because a bunch of quests I couldn't finish. It looks like maybe now I can.
Have you seen these patch notes?
I saw some. It's very long.
The size of these patch notes is ridiculous. There's so much in here. And when I turned on my Series X, I think it downloaded like a 60 gig update.
It's amazing what happens when you can actually quality control.
It was insane. So if you're holding up on Cyberpunk, check out the 1.2 patch notes. Hopefully it fixed something you were looking for. Last bit of update, we got some more news on Katana Zeros DLC that's coming.
Okay.
A game I had kind of forgotten about since we did the TDP Plus on it.
Oh, I'm still waiting.
The developer has said that the DLC is now 6 times bigger than it used to be, and it is about half the size of the original game. It will still be a free update.
Okay.
There is no plans on when it is coming, so no time soon. But they do have it locked in for the length of it at this point, and they're now just continuing to work on it. You can check out the developer's blog if you want a bit more information about some of the stuff. There's not a whole lot to pull out of this.
I'm going to throw something in quickly. It's just an update. Last of Us is filming in the Calgary area. That TV show.
Oh, I did actually see that, yeah.
Not really news,
That'll be this
just
summer,
interesting.
I said?
Yeah, the only thing I read was whenever they're allowed to start working, so I'm guessing probably this summer. I'm not sure. This says June 8th.
I thought I also read that the first season is going to be the entire first game.
Oh. Okay.
Sounds crazy to me.
Yeah, so I guess they're doing 2 seasons. That's it.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they break up the second game to do more.
But
who knows? I don't know.
But I played that game. I want to see the new story. I know that one. Oh.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's gonna follow the same story. It's because it's those characters, right?
Yeah.
It's got to follow that story. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, that's gonna do it for news. Let's do some questions. If you would like to send in a question, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. I'm going to try and get through these questions quick because we have a whole other podcast to do right after this.
A long one, too.
Long one. So here let's start. I'll read this one from Dead in Sky. With Fast and Furious being almost done, what Pokemon generation the series be on when you die?
What are they already on? I forget. 7? Generation 7?
I would have guessed 8.
Oh, I was going to say 20 as a joke answer, but that's only 12 years. I hope I'm older than that.
It's more.
No, I don't remember what the current Pokemon generation is.
I think it's 8. They don't do one generation a year. It's like every 2 or 3 is the next generation. On the off years, they do like a remaster, right?
Okay.
I think they'll make it to 10. I think they will make it to 10.
And then
only 2 more generations.
Well, keep in mind, we're talking 3 years between gens.
Isn't Pokemon the most profitable IP in the world?
It's up there with Hello Kitty and Disney.
Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's Pokemon is the number 1 highest grossing property. I honestly kind of want to say Gen 20 because that'll probably be another 40 years close to it.
I mean, I hope we're older than that. though, when we die.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
Sean's right. It's Pokemon, then Hello Kitty, then Winnie the Pooh and Mickey Mouse.
I'll say I'm surprised Winnie the Pooh is up there.
I'm not.
Okay. I liked that one movie in 2013. Anyway. Gen 20. That just seems ridiculous. They'll have right now they have like 900 Pokemon. Some obscene number like that. Imagine it having like 20,000 different Pokemon.
No.
I
Because
They'll eventually do like a reboot where they're like, here's just a brand. They'll do another like Gen 5 where it's like, here's all the new ones and no old ones. They're all gone.
Do you think?
I mean, I liked when they did that in Black, where they're like, you can't play with any of the old ones until you beat the game. Because I was like, oh, cool. I've played with the old ones a lot. That's great. Give me the new stuff.
Do you think they'll ever just go to like Pokemon as a service and just be like, you're just going to update this every 2 years with like another 100 or something? No more gens.
So you like don't have to buy another cartridge? No.
Oh, no. You're probably going to have to buy another thing, but like maybe not a cartridge, maybe a download code or something for your game.
Well, I mean, when everything goes digital, sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, they're going to want to keep selling you 2 of it.
Yeah.
So they're not going to make it
true.
easy.
That's
Because
true.
for some reason, people are okay with them selling 2 versions of these games. If any other game developer did that, they would get laughed out of the room.
I'm sure there's another developer that's tried it before. I just can't think right now of one off the top of my head.
Yokai games were doing it, and the Mega Man like Battle Network games were doing it.
Gotcha.
That's all I can think of at the moment. And a second question from them. Based on the patch notes for Cyberpunk 1.2, was there any book as a kid that you read that was so bad that you wish you were assigned to read patch notes instead?
Ugh. I kind of liked all the books we read. We were
in school?
Yeah. I didn't hate really any of them.
I think I wasn't really into most of them, but I wouldn't say I hated them. I'm not a big Shakespeare fan. But I also just had a hard time like interpreting all of that.
Sure. I mean, I've only ever read like 2 Shakespeare and I liked them. They were fine.
And we had to do like, Romeo and Juliet. We had to do Hamlet. We did Midsummer's Night Dream. I want to say we did other ones too, but I can't remember them. What about you, John? Any books you hated as a kid being assigned to read at school?
Shakespeare. I wasn't super into Shakespeare.
Yeah. That's what I said. We had some cool ones. We got to, and this was near the end of high school. We watched V for Vendetta, social studies class unit. And then I managed to be like, hey, Dad, we're doing this on V for Vendetta. Would you please buy me the graphic novel? I think that would be useful for my essay. And he was like, okay. I got to read the graphic novel for school. That was pretty cool.
Sure.
We did and this would have been like grade 6ish. We did and then there were none. I really liked that one, but that's just a murder mystery book. That was pretty cool. Agatha Christie's and then there were none.
Sure.
So I can think of more ones that I really enjoyed versus ones that I hated. I guess.
Like I really liked Of Mice and Men. It's a classic for a reason.
We didn't do that one.
I liked the Sherlock Holmes. I guess it was Hound of the Baskervilles was the one specifically we did.
Oh, we did no Sherlock Holmes. We did Animal Farm, which I enjoyed.
I liked Animal Farm. Animal Farm's good. Somebody said they hated The Giver in chat. I liked The Giver. I thought when I read it, like grade 5 or something, really young.
I think I did The Giver. Were there any you enjoyed reading?
Lord of the Flies was kind of cool.
That was a good one.
Yep, see that.
You're right.
We didn't do that one, but I could see that, yeah.
That was a good one. Okay, Lineback writes, would you rather Smash Bros. Ultimate have a third Fighters Pass with 6 more characters, or roll back net code implemented. You can only choose one. You cannot choose who is in the fighter's pass. Definitely the netcode. I don't care about the characters. I would rather be able to play it when I want to play it.
Yeah, netcode, 100%.
I was gonna say the fighters because it's just kind of fun when these things get announced. I don't play Smash Bros. Ultimate online.
Sure. Yeah, that's fair.
Oh, there's mine.
Okay, his second question. Favorite weapon in Monster Hunter for each game you've played? I'm assuming I'm the only one going to answer this. So starting with Monster Hunter, what was it? Try? The one on the Wii U.
Yeah.
I started with the
3 Ultimate or something like that.
3 Ultimate and Try or whatever. Yeah, that one. I started with the Charge Blade. In 4, I went to Switch Axe, and that's what I kind of stayed on for the whole time. And in World, I kind of dabbled in bow as well, but Switch Axe primarily for all of them.
All right, John, do you want to take these two from Shane?
Shane writes in and says, if after Sakurai is done with Smash this time, he goes and revives another series of a Smash character like he did with Kid Icarus Uprising before, which series would you want? F-Zero.
Sure.
Yeah, it's an easy one.
Yeah.
I think I would like, and because I don't want the port, I want a remaster or a remake of Earthbound.
Yeah. Okay.
Second question. I started The Last of Us recently, and it doesn't feel like it's working for me, even though I've heard lots of good things about it. What well-received games do you guys feel like you just don't mesh with? The Last of Us. I had the exact same problem with it.
I had to push I never finished it when it came out. I pushed myself through it to get ready for 2.
Oh, wow. I thought you were into The Last of Us.
I stopped playing it because I thought that those characters in that story just felt really shitty.
Okay.
So yeah,
like
The Last of Us.
No, there's like a bunch that I'm blanking. Rinku asks, what's a game you have a weird sense of nostalgia for, even if you don't have much of a personal connection to it?
Okay.
Kirby's Air Ride. Just played it a bunch at my cousin's place.
Star Fox 64.
I
never owned it. Only played at a friend's house and at my dentist's office every now and then. Loved it.
Okay, sure. Yeah, I'm kind of with that too, because like I always played it at a friend's house. I did get it, but I just played through it once. I didn't do like all the paths, and I was just like, okay, well, yeah, that's Star Fox.
Oh, Snowboard Kids. Friend had it. Fucking love that game. Holy shit.
It's definitely one of my like blockbuster rental games.
Yeah.
They got.
Yeah, for me, Chrono Trigger, because I used to rent it and I had to try to beat the whole game off of rentals, like one rental a week, and then hope that the save was still there the next week, or that the game wasn't gone.
Yeah.
You just gotta change your character's name to please don't delete.
Yeah, exactly. And what was the other one? Green Dog, the beach surfer dude for the Genesis, because my neighbor had it. And I used to play that a bunch in his place. It was a weird game, not really a good game, but it was just super weird. I just remember it standing out.
Green Dog, the surfer dude?
The beached surfer dude.
Is it a dog or a guy?
It's a dude. He fights throwing frisbees, and he has a pedal copter that has a boxing glove on the front that you use to punch away seagulls that are trying to kill you.
His name is Green Dog.
Yes.
He's how I would... He looks like how I would draw you as a 90s surfer cartoon, Sean. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, I can see that.
I don't know how to... just. All right.
It's very specific, but if you see a picture, you'll see it.
Okay. And then a second one from Rinku. Do you guys have any tips on moving out of your parents' house? Question.
I see. The thing is, I moved out because I moved out for university. So, like,
right.
I had to leave because it was a different province.
Well, yeah, some tips for, I guess, kind of living on your own, you know.
Yeah, that's a better idea.
I would say you need to get in a cleaning routine because no one's going to tell you to clean up anything anymore. And you're gonna start finding mold on like
Fast.
windowsills.
It's really fast.
Stuff. It's well, I don't know if it's fast, but it accumulates so slow that all of a sudden you're just like, wait, when did this all show up?
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
So like, I would say try not to get to the point where you're like, oh, I should probably clean this stuff up. You should really set up a routine of like, hey, every Saturday morning, I'm gonna wash the toilet. It's just gonna be my Saturday morning thing. It's gonna save you in the long run.
Yeah, if you have roommates, keep your social areas as clean as possible.
Yeah.
Try not to freak out at your roommate if they don't carry their weight, because very often you'll have a roommate that doesn't carry their weight, or you will be the roommate that doesn't carry their weight.
Yep.
Yeah. The roommate thing is huge. Like, everyone's gonna get a bad roommate, and it sucks. It sucks so much. So yeah, don't be the bad roommate. Like, get out in front of that stuff. Easy ways to do that: wash your dishes. Like,
Yeah.
you don't want to be the guy who has dishes piled up in his room. Or you don't want to be the guy who piles up dishes in the sink, and that's just where the dishes live. You don't want to do that.
Yeah. Just as like a weird thing that like nobody really thinks about, probably, like, call your parents every now and then and get that like connection. It's really easy to never talk to your family again, and it's kind of rough. It kind of sucks. So like, make a habit of calling or like checking in with the parents every now and then. Like, I know it doesn't sound like much, but it helps with mental health like so much. It's crazy.
Yeah, you definitely start to miss your parents more as you get older.
Yeah.
I've kind of found, because you're not around them. That just makes sense.
Yeah.
I'll also say, and I don't know this on the person's age, but I had this experience with someone when I first moved into dorms. First time not living at home, I was living on campus. There was this one guy who the whole idea of like not being under oppressive parents, he went nuts.
Oh.
He got like a drinking problem and had to drop out of freshman year.
Yeah.
It was like the first time he was able to get alcohol. He just kind of went crazy. So it's like, I guess the rule here is like, kind of take everything in moderation as you go. Don't go like nuts, because you're going to have so much freedom right off the bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, kind of be careful with that, I guess.
If you can afford it, just don't
One
have
thing
a
that does
roommate.
suck.
Just live on your own if you can afford it.
There's no way in this economy.
Yeah, I know.
It's pretty rare to moving out have your own place. Like, you got to be pretty well
for the
off
first time,
if that's
for
the
sure.
case.
Yeah.
But to be fair, they could want a roommate. I like having a roommate. I like having someone around, someone who can watch the place when I'm gone, or bring mail in, someone I can chat with and whatnot. I like having a roommate.
Yeah,
that's cool. I will say though,
it.
one tip is mail starts to suck. Mail's just bad now. You never want mail because it's a bill.
It's always bad. Yep, that's true.
There's never good, like, mail is I barely ever want to open my mailbox, because it's going to be a bill from something I forgot about.
All right, Boko writes in, what's a game or series you respect but don't necessarily like?
Last of Us?
Good answer.
Good answer. Good answer.
Any MOBA? Good answer. I'm going to say any MOBA.
Okay. I think I found actually pretty recently any driving sim game. I like arcade games. Like, I respect what they're doing. I find them fucking boring, though.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. Same with sports simulation for me. Like, Madden isn't my thing, but I get why people are into it.
I don't know. I have a hard time still respecting those, because when I hear people talk about them each year, it's like, yeah, they haven't done anything. It's still kind of boring, but it's Madden. I don't even know if people who buy Madden really enjoy Madden, or if they want something better at this point.
Well, people that buy FIFA definitely really love FIFA. So at least there's that.
Or do they like the FIFA card thing?
No, they probably don't like it, but they probably just do it because they're addicted. I would assume.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's true.
All right, second question. What's your it gets good after blank hours game recommendation? On the flip side, what's one... Okay, let's do that one first. It gets good after blank hours. Game recommendation. For me, it's kind of any JRPG takes a while to get going, and then I get sucked in. So that's why.
Yeah.
I usually have to give a JRPG at least 5 hours, and if it doesn't start having me by then, I just give up.
Yeah, I'm like that.
there's a lot of-
Bloodstained felt a little bit like that to me too.
I could see that.
I was gonna say there's a lot of JRPGs where I kind of like the opening bits because it's just like world building kind of fun stuff. It's not like the core of what you're gonna get to with that game, but it's kind of a very different part. It's like I like it in a lot different ways than I like the later parts of JRPGs.
Monster Hunter gets good after 100 hours. On the flip side, what's one it gets good after X hours games you'd love to play but don't have the time to?
I got another good answer for the first half, and that's Skyward Sword.
Yeah, I can't wait for that remasters or report so I can finally play that game. Yay.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. You'd love to play, but just don't have time to.
Just don't have time to, yeah.
Trying to think, based off the stuff we just said, like none. I guess I had more.
Any RPG.
Yeah, I guess I had more RPGs. I'd love to play more RPGs, but that's just more like just wish I had more free time.
My answer is Final Fantasy 14. I need to get my character to 60 or whatever to get past the shit that people say is bad. I would love to. I'm never going to. I have too many other things to play.
Did you buy or somehow get just like a skip?
Oh? I think so, but I don't want to spend that
Yeah, and they
money.
also redid Realm Reborn, so apparently it's not as garbage, which was after my time, so that's also why I'm like, eh.
Yeah, MMOs in general is kind of the answer here. Like, I know WoW gets really good. I can't, though. I can't, go back to how much time those take.
John, why don't you take this next one? And it's a multiple choice question. That's kind of how it's formatted.
Oh, okay. I was wondering about that. From Rasterman, suppose you had a gun that could transform anything into bread. What would you do? A, question the logistics behind such an artifact even existing in the first place. B, consider the device harmful and possibly destroy it. C, use the gun to transform stuff into bread. If so, what kind of stuff?
Right.
D, disassemble the gun to see how it works and attempt to make it transform stuff into something else. E, none of the above. Or F, this question sucks.
F.
You can choose more than one option.
So I actually have the answer here. You buy a whole shitload of disposable bowls, and every time you want soup, you shoot it with the gun, put soup in it, you have a bread bowl. Easy.
Ooh, not bad. So C, use the gun to transform stuff into bread.
I think that's the one. You transform stuff into bread. I don't think I would buy anything. I would just get some dirt from outside.
They would turn the whole planet into bread at that point, depending on how powerful the gun is.
Well, I mean, I would scoop some up. I would portion.
Okay, all right. Safe dirt shooting. That's important.
Yeah, because that saves me having to buy disposable bowls.
I mean,
fair though, I don't want this much bread.
Yeah,
no one needs this much bread. You could open a bakery with it though, a novelty bakery. So you find different shaped things and then just turn them into bread, and then you sell the bread as novelty items.
Or a charity. You could actually save the world.
Yeah. Also, you solve world hunger, so I guess there's that too.
So I mean, that's the positive thinking: is you could save world hunger, but you just know someone is going to steal this device from you.
Yeah, and then shoot your car with it or something, and now you have bread car.
It just means some corporation is going to take it for nefarious ways, right?
Yeah, turn the sky into bread or the sun into bread or something.
I'm definitely not doing D, because I just can't. I'm not smart enough to just.
I do not. None of us have the ability to actually physically disassemble that in a safe way.
Nope.
If we did, then yes, D would be the answer.
I mean, I bet I could disassemble it in a safe way. I wouldn't get it to work again, though.
I bet I couldn't do it in a safe way.
Well, I don't know what I did.
I would turn the universe into bread disassembling it accidentally. I know it.
Yeah, I wouldn't destroy it. But yeah, if we get to the point where corporations are trying to steal it, then maybe that's the answer.
I feel like that's kind of what happens at the end of this movie after we've had like our fun. We've gotten to a really like low point where we turned like girlfriends into bread.
Yeah.
We had to get them back somehow. And then once we get them back, we're like, we have to destroy it. It's the only way we'll be safe forever.
And then you just shoot it at a mirror and it just bounces back and turns itself into bread. And that's how the movie ends.
Oh, shit.
Oh, shit. Yeah. There you go. And
No,
everyone eats it.
The movie actually...
Your girlfriend, the villain of the movie, they all sit down and have some bread.
The end of the movie is actually them packaging it in a crate and then a crate being put into a giant warehouse as the camera pans out.
It's just the end of Raiders.
I'll do you one better. They put it into a crate and they like chain the crate shut and they drop it in the ocean.
Yeah.
Then when they zoom in on it, you hear the Jumanji drums.
Yeah. On the sand in China. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Decoy Troy writes, have you ever recommended a game to someone that they didn't enjoy? Has anyone ever recommended a game to you that you didn't enjoy?
Yeah, of course.
I recommended The Last of Us to John and played through the first chunk with him.
Yeah, exactly. We got about what, 20% through it? 25?
Oh, we played
somewhere.
We played 15 minutes.
No, we played like a half, dude. Trust me, I remember.
No, I showed you the intro.
Trust me, I remember.
That was it.
I fucking remember.
I really remember the intro.
We climbed through like ruined cities and got to a fucking subway. It was at least 15%, if not 25.
Wait, you got to you got pretty far if you got to a subway.
I don't now. So when I'm thinking, okay, maybe we went further than just the intro. There's no way we did 25% of that game because it's like a 20-hour game and we played for maybe like an hour.
All right, I'm looking up a Last of Us long play. Oh yeah, you're right. No, okay, that game is actually pretty fucking long. Let's see.
That's 10 hours. No, we got 20% of it.
10-hour full game playthrough. Where's the part I recognize?
I don't think we had even met Ellie, so.
No, we had met Ellie.
Had we? Okay. Just so long ago. Do you have a good answer for either of these?
I mean, I recommended Journey to John. He played at my house and fucking hated it. So Journey for him as well.
Journey? Oh, man.
Wait, Journey is in the one in the sand?
The PS3 one, yeah. I remember you being like, I don't get the hype. Oh, did you? Okay.
I liked it. It was boring.
Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. I feel like people have recommended games to me that I definitely knew I wouldn't like and I just didn't bother and said like, yeah, I'll check it out and just like never was going to. That's probably more what happens. Like I'm trying to think if there's somebody where they recommended something to me. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll definitely check it out. And then I was just like, this fucking sucks. Like, I don't think that's ever happened.
It's also hard. It's hard for me because in like my social circles, I'm kind of like more the game person.
The recommending
so
game person.
If someone's recommending a game to me, I probably know about the game.
Sure.
Probably on my radar in some way to the point where I've been like, oh yeah, that's on my list. I plan to play it. Or it's like, oh, that's not really my thing. I'm not really going to do it. It's pretty hard to like, it's hard to like kind of surprise me with a game, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I think probably all three of us. That's true.
It would have to be like someone would have to be like trying to surprise me with like a really obscure thing.
Some indie game or something. Yeah.
All right. I think Paul, you're next.
Okay. VGC Kenny writes, when the pandemic ends, do you think that with people wanting to go basically anywhere, arcades could make a comeback? Not will, could. I mean, yeah, arcades could always make a comeback. You never know.
I was gonna say, like before the pandemic, we had barcades.
Yeah,
they came back as barcades.
Those are definitely.
I assume those barcades will open again.
Totally. Yep.
I don't think there will be very many just arcades anymore. Those are pretty rare to find. I feel like you kind of have to serve like either alcohol or some kind of like snack, like bar food, basically. Yeah.
Or be like a thing before a movie. Like, yeah, you have to have something that actually pays the like lease bills because it's probably not going to be the arcade stuff. I agree. Second part of the
usually it's food.
Yeah, for sure. Drinks is huge for sure too. Like barcades, that's why they can make it, right? They're already making money, so like why not throw a Killer Queen cabinet in there?
Exactly, and then people are just like, they're gripping and ripping a couple cold ones, and they're like, yo, why don't
Yeah.
we play some skee ball?
Yeah, gripping and ripping. Second question. While I'm catching up on the podcast, you guys are talking about bands. Paul specifically said a lot of bands he liked are still going, have waned in quality over time. So what bands you know are still going, or at least went on fairly long, that have had stayed consistently good or even improved over time? I was thinking about this a little bit today because I actually read this as I was on my way home, and I couldn't think of an answer. A lot of new albums that come out from bands I really like are usually the like albums that I'm like, not very good, not my favorite.
I mean, so most of the bands I listen to are just these like really random small bands that Spotify shows me. And they're like, hey, we think you'll like this every like Monday or whatever. They're like real new and they don't have a lot. They have like a few singles so far. I just have a collection of a bunch of those. And then bands from my past, most of them are like, I don't like the way they went,
Right.
or they are not around anymore.
Yeah, that's kind of my problem too.
Yeah, I there's some bands I still like. I like the Foo Fighters still. I actually like their new album, but there was a point where I'm like, there's nothing really I want to keep listening to on this versus their older ones.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, but then there's other bands like Muse where like their older stuff I love, and then their newer
Yeah.
stuff they change completely, and it's just like, there's some stuff I like, but it's just I like it for very different reasons at this point.
Yeah, I'm kind of similar with like Justice. I'm not a huge fan of Justice's.
I like
recent
Woman.
stuff.
I think Woman's a good album,
but
it's different.
I just really like Cross and Across the Universe.
That's fair. Cross is their strongest album. I don't think anyone's going to dispute that.
So
I might have maybe the Red Jumpsuit Apparatus.
Okay.
And then again, I haven't even listened to them for the last few years.
Arguably, I liked Nine Inch Nails way better before, but arguably Trent Reznor is actually doing way better shit because he's scoring multi-million, billion-dollar movies and stuff. So, you know, he's probably better now, but I liked other stuff that he's done in the past more.
He did, I think he did a Social Network. I'm pretty sure he did the Watchmen TV series.
He did Soul.
He did
as
Soul.
Well.
Yeah.
He does a lot for sure.
Yep.
All right, John. Last question's yours.
All right. Before I read this out, I'm skimming through a Last of Us long play. I'm at an hour and a half, and I still recognize things. So we played.
You guys played for a while. Yeah. There is a lot of city before Subway.
Okay.
I can't find the Subway part, but like I said, I'm 90 minutes in. We're running around in some office building. I recognize all this.
I'd be hard pressed to say that you guys saw the Subway part I'm thinking of, because the part I'm thinking of is like 10 or 11 hours in, and I don't think you played that.
I remember we got it, like they tell you about you have to like assassinate like a clicker or something like that. I remember fucking up the assassination, and that's where we stopped playing.
Oh,
it's like the very entrance to a Subway area.
Oh, okay.
You remember this evening much better than I do.
Yep.
I don't remember any of this.
Okay, last question from Kevin. What is the biggest budget or best produced dating simulator? A Tofu Boyfriend, the one with the pigeons.
Yeah, it totally
is it not Dream Daddy?
Oh, yeah, probably.
But that probably has the biggest budget. No, there's got to be like an actual like third AAA. Like,
there has to be an actual
AAA dating simulator.
There has to be.
What? Who would even make that?
I don't know. I'm just saying that it might. There's no way it doesn't exist.
Ubisoft's dating simulator. Like what? The Sims doesn't count, right? Does that count? Do you go on date?
Not quite. Not quite.
I wouldn't count it. No. What do we think of Monster Prom? Is that big? People talk about that one.
I don't think that's.
That's got the same budget as Dream Daddy, so you know.
Okay, it's probably Hatoful Boyfriend, for sure. Because they actually have like producing company behind them, right? Or wait, that was bought after the game came out, though. So, shit. I don't actually know. I have no idea.
I guess would have been Dream Daddy.
Do we count? No. Okay, never mind. How about Animal Crossing? I don't think we count Animal Crossing. Like, I don't think we count any game.
Can't really
where...
date in that one, yeah.
Yeah, you can't even, like, if The Sims makes more sense than Animal Crossing. I don't know. In a lot of the Sims, you literally do go on dates.
There is...
Yeah, but dating sim usually means, like, you have to make choices that affect the outcome.
Yeah.
Did you do that in The Sims?
No, I think they just kind of
No.
click or
Give gifts
randomly...
and stuff, and
They just
Yeah.
kind of do their own things. I mean,
Okay.
you can tell people to, like, give gifts to raise affection, but, like, otherwise.
okay. About Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball 2.
That's the answer. You did it.
Yep, we did it.
If you would like to send in a question, it's topdownperspective@gmail.com, at TDP Podcast on Twitter, the Discord channel, or John's P.O. Box. What's your game of the week?
Monster Hunter.
I didn't play anything.
Mine is It Takes Two. All right, some things to look forward to and to go check out. Our Iconoclast episode of TDP Plus is live. It is our longest episode of TDP Plus yet, so go check that out. Our April game has been picked. It's Umurangi Generation, so we will be playing through that and discussing it this month, so get excited for that. And right after that, we are going to be doing a Game of the Year episode, but we're going to be pretending it's 2009. We're going to do all the regular categories. It's going to be a lot of fun. That'll
Jesus.
go up on our Patreon, so if you're a patron, you'll get access to that. If you're not a patron, just subscribe at the $2 value level. You'll also get access to all the TDP Plus, so maybe check out some of that stuff too, if that is something of interest to you.
No, you have to do
Other
it
than that-
because I spent a bunch of time actually finding every fucking game I played from 21 years ago or whatever, 20 years ago.
21 years ago.
Not 21 years ago, like 11 years ago. You better fucking listen to that episode. That's all I'm saying.
12 years ago.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Also, 1 hour, 33 minutes, 38 seconds into this 9 hour, 39 minute, and 22 second long play is exactly the moment I
Okay.
stopped at.
That makes
Found
sense.
it exactly.
All right. Well, I'm glad we figured that out.
Yep, that was very important. I was going to bug me if I didn't know.
Yeah.
All right.
Kind of me too, a little bit.
We got to start that second episode, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Later.